The views, opinions, or comments expressed on this program does not reflect the views, opinions, or comments of the radio station or its management.
You are tuning into Sports Geek with Spanelo Ngobo, only on Nirvana World FM. Your beat, your music. Halala. Saturday, the 1st of July 2023. Needless to say that we have gone past halfway through the year. Do you remember those New Year's resolutions that you took all the way back in January? How far are you with those New Year's resolutions? How far are you with those dreams? I hope you are equally halfway with executing them, because if you haven't started executing them, I've got bad news for you. You've got less than 6 months to turn those New Year's resolutions, to turn those dreams to some kind of reality. Wow, today being the 1st of July, it goes without saying that looking at the horse racing calendar, this is a big day indeed in as far as South African horse racing calendar is concerned. Actually, a global horse racing calendar is concerned. Why? Simply because the whole eyes of the world horse racing will be fixed in Durban, July, as it gets underway. Can I say this afternoon? No, not this afternoon, because it is the whole day event, even though the main race will only get underway at 3:10 this afternoon. But the Durban July is definitely a big event. It is a whole day event. People, they budget, they save for the 1st of July, because if all the who's and who's are in KwaZulu-Natal, in Durban to be exact, for the 1st of July. Traditionally, when we were still kids, it was called Rothmans July. It changed to Vodacom July, but these days I believe it goes by as Hollywood Bets Durban July handicap. Last year we remember that Sparkling Water won the event, but this afternoon it needless to say that the odds they have changed. Sit Again is the favorite with a 3-1, followed by Safe Passage at 6-1. Winchester Mansion is also available at 7-1. Without question is also an offer at 8-1. Meanwhile, Pakaya is on offer at 10-1, with Rain in Holland 25-2. And last but not least, a favorite is Son of Raja, sitting at 14-1. So if you have not done your betting for this afternoon's main event, you can still go and do it. And should those tips that I've just given you, surely it will not be a bad thing to thank me, to give me that tip. After all, you would have got those tips from me, because I've just given to you the favorites to win this afternoon's race. If you didn't get it right, let me report it for you. Sit Again is the firm favorite, sitting at 3-1, followed by Safe Passage, sitting at 6-1. Winchester Mansion is also available at 7-1. Without question is on offer at 8-1. Meanwhile, Pakaya is on offer at 10-1, with Rain in Holland sitting at 25-2, and Son of Raj is sitting at 14-1. That's how the teams, that's how the firm favorites for this afternoon's Durban July or Hollywood bets Durban July handicap are lined up. Let's hope that event will definitely rise to the occasion. Let's hope Greenville Racecourse will be packed to capacity. Obvious. It is all about the fashion. It is all about the glitz and glamour. So if you're not married, just keep away from that place, because we do not tolerate just sub fashion. It is top notch. The likes of us, we are not in that league. Hence, we are in the studio. We will not even make a guest appearance in this afternoon's Hollywood Bets Durban July as it gets underway this afternoon. Don't forget, the main race is at 10 past 3 this afternoon. The most talk about and the famous cricket series is still very much with us. That's when the two giants, in as far as the cricket world is concerned, lock horns. That is Australia and England. This year, the event is taking place down in England. The first game got underway last week, and the Ashes holders, that is Australia, they won the first Ashes match. They won it by 2 wickets. The second match got underway on Wednesday. That's when the home side England won the toss and surprisingly chose to field first. The decision that got a lot of criticism and surprise. The holders, they went on and made the going very very tough indeed for the home side. England, they've got their backs against the wall with the Ashes holders in Australia. The Peggy Greens having got in charge of that series. They bowled first. They made 416 runs on the board. England came in. They tried to overhaul that score, but they only went as far as 325 runs all out with 91 runs deficit. And then Australia came on yesterday. They started extending that lead. They went as far as stumps. The score was reading 130 runs, with Australia having lost only 2 wickets, and a massive 221 runs lead on day 3. And unfortunately, on day 3, the weather had the final say as the heaven started opening in the afternoon, and then the game had to be brought to a halt with Australia calling all the shots. The game will get underway this afternoon at 12:15 for South African time, with Australia in their commanding seat, in that driving seat. England are so much in trouble, considering that today it is the 4th day. And the thing is, with England, they started this series being so predictable, being so rigid. They just do not play the conditions. They just simply play the ball, and you just cannot do that, especially if you are playing against the very, very tactical team in the caliber of the Peggy Greens, that is Australia. So England, they are being so rigid, so predictable with their buzz ball. By the look of things, it looks like Australia, they definitely have the answers for English buzz ball this time around. So if England should go on and lose the second test that is currently underway, it might be spell bad news in as far as the home side is concerned. Surely you don't want to give Australia that sniff of a 2-0 lead in a 5-match series, because that will mean England will have to win all the 3 remaining test matches, which is not gonna be an easy one indeed. This is Australia, after all, that they are playing. It is the Peggy Greens that they are playing. Once they get the sniff of the win, they will definitely do not let it go. So let's hope the England, they will try to come back. Being the home side, they've got they are the favorites. They have to do it for their fans. in netball this afternoon, and the curtain is finally coming down in the Telkom Netball League. The Free State ladies, that is Crane Arms, they will be taking on Gauteng Jaguars. That's going to be a titanic clash indeed. But we are lucky this afternoon. We do have a guest. We'll be talking netball. The guest is in the form and shape of Musa Mabe. He's with me in the studio right now. But just stick around. We'll be talking to him. We'll be discussing Telkom Netball League Vitality World Cup that is going to take place later this month down in Cape Town. Musa Mabe will be talking to us and telling us all that and more when we get down to that discussion. So just stick around and hear what Musa Mabe has to say in as far as South African netball and international netball is concerned for that matter. In tennis, the third and prestigious Grand Slam is finally upon us. That is Wimbledon. It gets underway tomorrow. Iga Swiatek and Novak Djokovic, they are ranked number one in the female and male categories respectively. Iga Swiatek has contested 5 Grand Slam and won 3 of them. But unfortunately, out of those 3 Grand Slam that he has won recently, Wimbledon is not one of them. So she will be hoping that come the 2023 Wimbledon, it will become one of those Grand Slam that she has added in her collection. This comes after the backdrop of her having won the French Open, that is the Roland Garros. She did that in style 2 weeks back. And then moving to men's category, Novak Djokovic, when he won that French Open, the Roland Garros, he saw himself stretching his Grand Slam times of record of winning to 23. Should he go on and win the Wimbledon 2023, he will see himself stretching that lead furthermore to a record 24 times. And in so doing, he might as well see himself equal that best Wimbledon record holder that is currently held by Roger Federer, who won the Wimbledon 8 times. Novak Djokovic is sitting at 7 championship of Wimbledon. So should he go on and win this year's edition, he will sit a tie with Roger Federer at 8 times. The biggest cycling tournament in the world, that is Tour de France, is finally back with us. It gets underway this afternoon. It is a 21-stage crawling contest that will start in Spain's Bilbao, and it will end on the 23rd of July in Paris Champs-Élysées. That game definitely draws all the cards. It gets all the attention in as far as the cycling is concerned globally. This year being the 110th edition of Tour de France. Come next weekend, Saturday, Rugby Championship gets underway. Springboks, they will be taking on their traditional older foes, that is Australia, the mighty Wallabies. That game will get underway in the afternoon at Loftus Versfeld Stadium in the national's capital city. The tickets for that game were sold long time ago. So if you still have plans of watching that game, just forget about watching it in the stand. You might as well start making arrangements of watching that game on the telly. And with Damian Willems, Henry Pollard not available to start for the Springboks, both of them they are ruled out with the injuries. The Stormers fly half Mali Libbok is expected to get a chance to lead the Springbok and operate in that fly half position. And still with the Boks, the injured Siam Tanda Kolis, who also doubles as the captain of the Springboks, will also not be available for this year's Rugby Championship. Marco van Staden will be expected to make that to replace him on that flank position. Eben Etzebeth is also not available. Jean Klein will be expected to finally make that much anticipated debut for the Springbok. That was after he qualified to became eligible to represent his country of birth after on that birth right transfer. We remember that Jean Klein did represent Irish between 2018 and 2019, but for not having played for Ireland for the past 36 months, that has again made him eligible to represent his country of birth, which is South Africa. So we will be watching that space and hoping that Jean Klein will finally make that much anticipated debut for the mighty Springbok, the mighty world champions. Come next week in Pretoria, the Jacaranda City, the nation's capital city, Loftus Versfeld Stadium. A very good morning and a warm welcome to you wherever you are within the South African borders and beyond. We've got you covered. Don't you worry about a thing. All you have to do is to sit back, relax, and allow us to entertain you. You are tuning in to Sports Geek with Sibonelo Ngcobo only on Nirvana World FM. Your beat, your music. TikTok and Facebook, we are there as Nirvana World FM. While on Facebook, you might as well go on and type Sports Geek with Sibonelo Ngcobo, which is the name of this show, and that will take you straight to the fan page of this show. And then as Sibonelo Ngcobo individually, I'm also available on all social media platforms again as Sibonelo Ngcobo, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it, I am there as Sibonelo Ngcobo. Thank you very much to my colleague DJ Powen, who was with you between 10 and 11 o'clock. He brought us Teen Kids. Hoping you enjoyed listening to his music and he got all of you heated up. I did take note that my favorite sports analyst, Modiba Peter, was also listening to DJ Powen's show. Well done, DJ Modiba Peter. Catch DJ Powen come next week, Saturday, between 10 and 11 o'clock. He will be taking care of the things. He will be on the decks. He will be getting everyone on the dance floor. That's when your dancing shoes will definitely come handy. So just ensure that you bring along those dancing shoes indeed. You and I, we are together from now 11 o'clock till 1 p.m. Now that I'm complaining, I just love the sound of it. That's how they roll in the township. We'll kickstart our show this morning by having a discussion with our studio studio guest in the form and shame of Musa Mabe. We'll hear what he has to say in as far as local netball is concerned. There is a Telkom Netball League, so as the Vitality World Cup netball that's going to take place come end of this month down in Cape Town ICC Arena from the 26th, from the 28th rather of July till the 6th of August this year. And then at 12 o'clock we'll be joined by our sports analyst, that is Modiba Peter. We'll get to hear what he has to say in as far as the motor racing is concerned. DSTV transfer news, everything rugby. We'll also look at the Currie Cup rugby final that took place last weekend down in Bloemfontein. That's where the home side, the Toyota Cheetahs, took on the defending champions at that time. That is Link Pumas. Modiba Peter will be discussing all that and more for us. We'll get to hear what he has to say in as far as the sporting world is concerned. Let's quickly go for a breather. When we return, we will definitely be in conversation with our studio guest, Musa Mabe, and we'll get to hear what he has to say in as far as Telkom Netball League. Anything, everything regarding netball, Musa Mabe is your man. He will be talking to us in the studio. Let's quickly go for a breather. We'll continue on the other side of this.
Ever heard a baby bellow at the top of its lungs in a public place, far from your best music track, right? For a more beautiful note, contact Nirvana Sounds for your studio and live recordings. We engineer sound to perfection according to your specifications. We ensure crisp and clear audio-video conversions and delight your function with sound, stage and lights for hire. Our quotes are pleasurable to the ear. Contact us now on 083 945 7664. Nirvana Sounds, powered by Gospel World FM.
Welcome. This is your favorite station. Stay tuned.
It was a Mango Groove special star. Oh, wow. Come this afternoon. Who is going to be that special star when that Telkom Netball League finally comes down, when Cranearms take on the Jaguars? Surely everyone will be looking and hoping to have that special star in their team. But all that and more, we are lucky to have Musa Mabe to tell us all the netball and stuff, that who is likely to be that special star this afternoon at Hartford Arena in Pretoria, that when the netball Division 1 final will eventually takes place this afternoon. Musa, a very good morning and a warm welcome to you.
Morning, how are you?
I'm great, and you, Baba? How are you feeling this morning?
I'm good.
I'm so happy that you managed to make it on time, especially on this cold weather. You didn't have any paparazzi or something?
No, I didn't.
Oh, so you managed to get up early and
Yeah,
prepare yourself for this for today's interview.
Amazing.
No, just for the moment I was.
Exhibit A. It's about the intricate understanding of the partnership, and that's what South Africa are doing extremely well. Holthausen and Potgieter know each other inside and out. The defensive.
Thank you very much for once again for availing yourself.
Okay, thank you for hosting me.
Okay, tell us, Musa Mabe. Who is Musa Mabe, netball-wise, sports-wise?
Musa Mabe is a player from Soweto. I currently play for Chipeya Tigers. That's a team that plays under the Gauteng Super League. Then I'm coached by Coach Prof Chipeya.
Coach Chipeya.
Yes.
Can you repeat the name of your team?
Johannesburg Tigers.
Johannesburg Tigers.
Yeah.
So they play in the league.
Yeah, in the league.
And that league consists of how many teams?
It is likely 10 or 9 male teams.
Male teams.
Yeah, it has male teams, female teams, then over 40s.
Oh, 40s.
Yeah.
That's why 40s are not scared of breaking their knees and stuff.
No, they knows.
Who are some of those big players? Are there any senior players, maybe the big players that you guys look up to, since you've mentioned that you've got over 40 years team? So surely there must have been some veterans that have been in the game for some time.
Yeah, they are. Some of the over 40s, they play by Alca, some on Sundays. So they're part of the league. So that's how Aspegela won.
Okay, oh, you watch them on the Sundays?
Yeah.
And then when do you guys play?
We play once a month.
Once a month.
So you're going to be playing this month on the 23rd and 24th of July.
Of July.
Yeah.
Where will you be playing?
In Germiston.
Germiston.
Yeah.
Okay, will it be a league game or a specific knockout game?
It'll be a league game.
A league game. Oh, okay. And then, so tell me, so how many times that you guys train? Weekly, monthly, or what? Or you only meet during the games?
No, we do train. We train once a week, maybe on a Saturday or a Sunday. Then we train 3 times a day. So once it's going to be fitness, then it's going to be a break, then it's going to be a game.
Oh, okay. And then you said that you play netball. Which positions do you play?
My positions for netball, I play goal defense and goalkeeper.
Okay, do you have enough? So, but I believe the defenders, they should be aggressive. So, is it obvious that you can also be very, very nasty in that court?
Yeah, we can be aggressive when it comes to maybe when the score is a draw score, then we have to turn the ball so the team can be leading with 1 goal. Then that's where you get aggressive to the shooters.
So for how long have you been involved with the game?
I've been playing netball for 6 years now.
For 6 years.
Yeah.
And then who is your favorite netball player?
I would look up to Kamohela Masego.
Wow. Yes. Oh, talking of Kamohela Masego, surely she's been making the headlines when that was on Thursday following that semi-final game where they played against who was
Fireballs.
it? Fireballs. The way that she played, so that Kamohela Masego, everyone was talking about her straight after that semi-final game.
Yeah, Kamohela Masego is a very, very young player. She could be one of the most experienced wing attacks in the world currently.
And then still with Kamohela Masego, I know I'm jumping at the gun. Following that discussion that took place on Thursday on social media, everyone, even in the netball circles from yesterday as well, everyone was complaining that why is Kamohela Masego is not in the national teams, the team that's going to be representing South Africa come end of this month in the World Cup. So what is your take on that? Because I believe most of the netball fans, they have been comparing Kamohela Masego over, I believe it's Owe to Ngubane. So what is your take on that discussion?
I think Kamohela Masego was meant to be good the squad this year World Cup.
Yes.
Despite always still a young player that maybe Coach Noma Plama also always must attend the World Cup because she's still young. But I believe that Kamohela Masego Begmela World Cup.
Also, you are also part of those fans that almost crashed at the social media on Thursday, calling for Kamohela Masego to be included in the Spar Proteas squad.
Yeah, I think Coach Noma Plama must go back with the coaching board and make a plan about Kamohela Masego.
I can't believe that everyone, especially from following that semi-final performance that she displayed on Thursday, everyone wants Kamohela Masego in that Spar Proteas squad. So you also strongly believe that Kamohela Masego should be in the national team?
Yeah, I also believe so.
You guys are something else. So it's Kamohela Masego and who else? Give me your top 3 favorite players in overall netball setup.
First is Kamohela Masego, who plays for the Gauteng Jaguars. Then it's Bongi Msumi, the captain.
Oh, the captain, yeah. Oh, she is the darling obviously of everyone.
Yeah. Then it's Pumza, who plays for the Southern Stings.
The goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Being a defender yourself, surely it goes without saying that you will favor one of the defenders.
Yeah, Pumza is playing something nice on courts.
So you like the way he neutralizes the attackers, the shooters.
Yeah, she does a very, very brilliant job on courts.
Okay. Talk to us about the Telkom Netball League as a whole. I believe there are 2 divisions. Talk to us who gets to play in Division 1 and Division 2. What criteria? Just talk to us regarding those 2 divisions.
I'm going to start with Division 2.
Yes.
Division 2 is, I think it's whereby the Telkom wants to train players before going to Division 1. Because Division 1 is quite stronger than Division 2. So you quite playing in Division 2 is quite preparing you for the Division 1. Okay. Yeah. Then Division 1 is where the big teams, Jaguars, Cranhams, Fireballs play. So at the end of the year, there's a game that's going to take one team that has lost maybe some of the games to Division 1 and one team that has won all the games from Division 2, and they'll both play a relegation match to see who goes to Division 1 next year.
So definitely, so Division 1 is the elite of the netball. It is the Premier League of the netball. Am I right in understanding?
Yeah, it is.
So is it needless to say that when it comes to national setup, most of, if not all of the national team players, they come from the Division 1? Or are there any of the players that campaign in Division 1 that are also part of the national setup?
I think both the divisions make up a national squad course. I'm not sure we have different parts of a squad. So the squad that's going to World Cup consists of Abantu Baning Bago Division 1.
Yes.
But then going further down, there's under 21 with South Africa.
Oh, yes.
There's development South Africa.
Yes.
So some of the Division 2 players take part of go.
Oh, okay. No, I fully get it. Now, still with the Telkom and Netball League, we've seen some nice choreographs, some nice dance moves that every team some kind of participate on before the center pass. Talk to us about those moves. Are they a must? What are they all about? Are they? Talk to us about those dance moves that we have seen the girls performing before the center pass.
The dance thingy is a must for all the teams to prepare for themselves. No more jiva, but you'll be there at the back.
Yeah.
So I think it's to just relieve yourself from the game that you're about to play, because the game might get stressing and you might get goosebumps before. So that dancing thingy just keeps you calmer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So it is a must. There's no team can just take the field without showing us their dance moves.
Yeah, it is a must. You must all dance. No more auto drive move.
So even if you've got two left feet, you still have to try and show us.
No more just tell us one.
Yeah, because I've seen those moves and I ask myself, okay, is this a must and what not? Because I've seen all the teams, they have been showing us those moves. Still with the Telkom Netball League, just looking at the tournament itself, are there any teams that as surprise packages that took the tournament by storm that we didn't expect to do so well, or even the players that definitely put their hands up for the national players to notice them? Talk to us about those surprise packages in the tournament.
Firstly, I would go to Division 2. Division 2 the Northern Cape Diamonds.
Yes.
This is a very, very young team. They played their hearts out this year. Then I would just give a big shout out to Anissa Dlamini, the goal attack of the Northern Cape Diamonds.
Yes.
She really, really played a game. Then I would go to the Limpopo Baobabs, winning the Division 2 yesterday. And then the player that I like from that team is Mulhuri Tlajwayo, the goal shooter.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
For Baobabs.
Yeah.
Sure, and you haven't mentioned Baobabs, that they're one of the surprise packages.
Yeah,
aren't they?
They are. They surprised everyone this year.
Considering that Baobabs, they never reached semi-finals in their history.
Yeah.
Surprise, this time around, they didn't only reach the semi-finals this year, they went on and win Division 1, and of which they did, I believe, last night.
Yeah, they really put out a goal this year. Then the goal was to win all their games and attain semi-finals, and I hope they're gonna go to Division 1 next year.
Oh, absolutely. So what will determine for them to get to Division 1?
They're gonna play a relegation match against Kingdom Stars. So if Kingdom Stars wins the game, they'll stay with Division 1. But if they lose, they'll go to Division 2. Then if the Limpopo Baobabs win, they'll go to Division 1.
Oh, so when is that game taking place?
I think before the final.
This is today.
Yeah.
So before the Division 1 final, the Crane Arms and the Jaguars game.
Yes, before the final.
So, but don't you think it's a little bit unfair considering that Baobabs last night, they played the final. They were playing last night. And the Kingdom Stars, I believe they
were resting.
So surely Kingdom Stars, they might have that slighter edge in terms of fatigue.
They might have the minus point to go, but if the coach can plan and put a very, very strong team, they can win the game.
So you think if the Baobabs coach, I believe that is Emily Matosa, yeah. So she might take the Limpopo girls all the way to Division 1.
Yeah, she can, because I think Coach Emily plans ufaka kahle team yakhe. Then if Coach Presh naye angafaka team yakhe kahle, both the teams can play something nice on courts.
Oh yes, that's what that is what Musa Mabe is saying, that in as far as the playoffs games are concerned this afternoon, Limpopo Power Pubs might just see themselves earning that promotion to the Elite League. That is Division 1. Should they go on and beat the Division 1 team, that is Kingdom Stars, who are on the verge of being relegated, but they do get that second bite on the cherry. Let's go for a breather. When we return, we will be talking strictly semi-finals, especially the Division 1's semi-final. What happened on Thursday in that Gauteng derby. Time now, it is 41 minutes past 11 o'clock. Let's go for a breather. When we return, we will continue with our discussion with our studio guest in the form and shape of Musa Mabe. We are talking Telkom Netball League. We'll also be stretching to Netball World Cup that's going to be taking place come end of this month down in Cape Town.
Looking to upgrade or repair your desktop or laptop? With over a decade's experience, TV Master specializes in software installations, data recovery, restores, PC rebuilds and conversions from VHS to USB or DVD. For no obligation quote, contact Pre on 011 855 6738 or 072 7706 796. TV Master, the name you can trust.
The only thing that does matter is great music, and you will find it here.
Musa Keys featuring Saifa Mnike. You are still tuning in to Sports Geek with Sponala Ngobo, only on Nirvana World FM. Your beat, your music. You can always get in touch with us on our studio WhatsApp line number, which is 07 333 The studio WhatsApp line number again is 07 333 TikTok and Facebook, we are there as Nirvana World FM. You can always get in touch with me directly on all social media platforms. I am Sponelo Ngobo. And we are still sitting with our studio guest, that is Mo Samabe. We are talking netball and more netball. Before we get to the semi-finals of Division 1 that took place Thursday afternoon, please talk to us about the Division 1 accolades that were given to Division 2 rather, that were awarded to the players.
Division 2 accolade goes like player of the match Mokhlure Tlatswaya from Bayer Babs, best shooter Michelle Vasare, Bayer Babs, best midcourt Amber Corazon, Tornadoes, then best defender Coralina Mpundi, Bayer Babs.
Wow. And then moving to Division 1 semi-finals, those are big games. Free State Girls, that is Crainhams, they took on the girls all the way from Kapstar, that is Southern Stings. And then the Gauteng Derby, so the defending champion, that is Gauteng Fireballs, took on their across-town traditional rivals, that is Gauteng Jaguars. Talk to us about those titanic clashes.
I think the game between Gauteng Fireballs and Gauteng Jaguars, it was a game that the Gauteng Jaguars had. I think Coach Elsa Jordan was supposed to make some few changes, but not a lot of changes to the game. If Coach Elsa would have stuck Gomasas on that center position, the game would have been driven forward.
Yes.
So Coach Elsa took Gomasas to the back to defend and switched the goalkeeper to the goal shooter, which at the back the height of the goalkeeper and the goal shooter it was a mismatch. It was a fun thing for them to have. So Coach Elsa had a lot of combinations trying out on court. Then that's what the Fireballs had to lose.
So you put Fireballs lost squarely on the coach's doorstep that she got the tactics wrong.
Yeah, not on the coach more or less, also on the players. Cause you knowing how Kamokholo Masego plays, you need to masturbate and do what Kamokholo Masego needs to do. You need to defend Kamokholo Masego faster. Then the shooting circle of the Fireballs, Coach Elsa must makamila qala ukuthi afake uNgomezulu.
Ngomezulu, yes.
Afake no-25 very good by shooter. He must have a tall shooter and a running shooter. So Coach had Utinita at the back and Ngomezulu no Semi in front, which the combination did not work because Semi was not doing that much of the work. Umuntu beka gijima a shooter beku
Yes.
So that's what I think that the team lost the game tempo. Then Crainhams nama Stings.
Yes.
Crainhams is a very, very strong side. They really had a game to put out, and the fans were supporting the Crainhams.
Who was supporting the Crainhams?
The fans.
The fans, yes.
Yeah. But then I think Crainhams nabo Stings, they also had a game to play with. So I think both the teams really enjoyed the game, and the game was fair.
But looking at the Crainhams, the way that they've played this season, surely they deserve something there. I believe that they topped Division 1, if I'm not mistaken. So their overall performance, surely it speaks volumes.
Yeah, the Crainhams really had a season of good netball. But then if the Fireballs maintain the first position as they were on top of the log, they were going to be a good team.
The Fireballs.
Yeah.
The defending champions.
Yeah, because they were top on the log. Then second was Cranhams, then Jaguars, then Stings.
Stings, yes.
Yeah.
So, so are you doubting the? Are you putting throwing water on Cranham's and achievements?
No, Cranham's achievement is very, very good. I think the head coach Fritted Cranhams
Yes.
really did a good job this year. And I think Khaisa Chawane,
Yes, Chawane, yes.
as Khaisa Chawane was praised to play wing attack to feed the shooters, Chawane and Lefadem and Rederman,
Rodman, yes, yeah.
they really had a good shooting combination at the front there with Stractor, because Chawane was able to get the passes to the shooters.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that Chawane has, I mean, at some stage I made a comment here in the studio that I think Chawane, she must have 4 lungs, not just 2 lungs like all of us. Why do I say that? Because of her stamina, the way she runs. I mean, she never shows any signs of fatigue, tiredness. Because Chawane, she's all over her energy level. Surely there are something else. Hence, I once said that Chawane should be taken for some test and check if she doesn't have 4 lungs. And then moving right along, yesterday, Telkom Netball League continued. Talk to us about the highlights of the game that played yesterday.
Yesterday we watched the game Yama Fireballs, Nama Stings. It was a good game that the Fireballs had. Not good. They had a very good game, but the Stings were pushing and the Stings were owning 2 quarters of the game. The Fireballs picked up the game tempo late. So that what I was saying, coach Elsa bekumele ukuthi aqale ngo-20 Van Wyk in the shooting circle noNgomezulu, because that combination yabo isebenze kahle noMsomi, and then Komasis on that center position. The ball was driven finally kuyehle eSans.
Okay, so what's your take? So you said the coach get her tactics right?
Yeah, the coach did get the tactics right yesterday.
And then the Fireballs, the defending champions, the Fireballs, only getting a consolation prize, the bronze medal. You as a Gauteng person, which team do you root for? Is it the Jaguars or the Fireballs?
I go with the Jaguars.
You go with the Jaguars?
Yeah.
You are based in Joburg, you are a traitor. And how can you support a Pretoria team?
I do like the Fireballs, but then I don't support them as that much as I support the Jaguars, because most of my friends play for the Gauteng Jaguars.
Oh, okay. Still with the Fireballs, Bongimsomi, was it the last time we saw her turning up for the Fireballs? Can we expect any retirement, or do you think she will still go on and play her game?
If not late by this year, Umsoma ngaka retire this year, Anyeka retire. Yeah.
So it goes without saying that this year it's the year that Bongimsomi must retire.
Yeah, if I go retire in World Cup this year, after World Cup, Anyeka much.
You are something else, Musa. And then you being a defender, you did mention that one of your favorite players is Phumza Maweni.
Yeah.
If you call for Bongimsomi to retire, what about Phumza Maweni?
I think South Africa has not developed that much of players, so Boy2 they're not going to retire anytime soon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they might still hang around.
They might still play maybe for the next coming World Cup.
Ha! Phumza Maweni is 37.
Yeah.
So you expect her to continue and play in the next World Cup?
Yeah, because even New Zealand, they have one of the most experienced players that were retired, but they also came back, like Jane Watson.
Yes.
Jane Watson was released bekahleli phansi ekhaya, so ngoba sekinta World Cup sekabuyile.
And what is her age?
I'm not sure about the age, but she's quite old.
When Pumza man, she's 37. She definitely must consider retirement. And then moving along to this afternoon's game, the big one ended. That is the final, as the curtain finally comes down this afternoon as far as the Telkom and Netball League. Talk to us about today's games.
Today's games are gonna be nice. We would wanna enjoy the games, but I think head coach Yama Crenhams and head coach Yama Jaguars, they'll both put a start whereby in the first quarter they're gonna be on a draw page.
Okay, so this afternoon's game, whom do you think might just walk away with that gold medal?
I might say the Gauteng Jaguars, but I also must say the Free State Crenhams. I'm quite not sure.
You're not sure? Yeah, but surely the Crenhams, looking at their performance, they might just be something else this afternoon.
Yeah, they can.
Yes, I am aware that Gauteng Jaguars, they know one thing, and that is one thing only. That is winning and winning and winning. That's the only thing they know.
Yeah.
But the Free State ladies might just have other ideas.
Yeah, the Free State Crenhams, they will put out a game for the Jaguars to maintain with, but cause Jaguars now Jaguars ukindela amagame amakhulu.
Yes.
They nabo bangawina igame or ne Crenhams ngawina.
Yeah, Jaguars, they've proved it at some stage. I believe they won the Telkom Netball League about 5 times in a row. From 2017, 18, 19, 20, up to 21, 5 times in the only last season that Gauteng Fireballs finally applied the brakes and spoiled the party for the Jaguars. So surely Jaguars, you can always associate them with the win. So having said that, whom do you think is who are the favorites for this afternoon's game? Is it the Crenhams or the Jaguars?
I might say the Jaguars, cause the Hartford Arena is the home ground. Ama Jaguars,
yes.
So the crowd will be supporting Ama Jaguars a lot.
So sure, the Free State ladies beat the home side. That will definitely be an upset for the tournament.
Yeah, it can be an upset, but we wouldn't cry a lot because they can be number 2.
And they still get that silver.
Yeah, they still get something.
Moving right away from Telkom Netball League, now we're going to international arena. Vitality Netball World Cup is about to get underway come the 28th of this month. What can we expect in as far as the Telkom Netball League is concerned?
This year's World Cup is gonna be something nice. I might say South Africa must, as they're gonna be hosting the World Cup, they must put out a game there out to play, cause being pool C near Jamaica,
yes.
Jamaica is gonna get South Africa game.
Yes.
So Jamaica has very, very strong players.
Very physical.
Yeah, they're gonna give South Africa a game this year.
So So are you saying, as far as the pool games are concerned, the South Africa Jamaican game might just set the tone of what we can expect going forward for the Proteas?
Yeah, the Proteas must have a very, very solid start with the Jamaica games, because the Jamaica is a very, very strong side to play with.
A very, very strong side indeed. That's what Musa Mawe is saying, that the Proteas, they'll definitely have to bring their A game when they take on the Jamaican girls. Let's quickly run down to the squad of that's been selected by Spa Proteas head coach, that is Noma Plama. Yeah. And then you tell me, in the squad that I'm going to read for you, if there are any omissions or surprise inclusions in the squad. I just wanted to tell me that, are you happy with the squad, or are there any additions that you think should had been considered? Bongimsom is there. She will be assisted by her deputy captain, that is Kala Pretorius. Kanyesa Chawana will be the Isate Grizel. Sesandile Owet Ngubane, Refilwe Nkeza, Pumza Maweni, Lenise Porchitere, Lefabra Radaman, Nicola Smith, Giante Stradom, and last but not least, Nicole Taliad. What is your take on this squad? Are there any players that you still strongly believe that they should be a part of this squad? Or are there any inclusions that you think they were just lucky inclusions?
I think Refileng Ngetse is a very, very intelligent player. That's why Coach Noma Plama amfake squad. But also going no Sisandile Owethu. Owethu mega mhlambe bhekane nenhlanhla mabamkhethe kule squad list. But I think there's one space missing for one person here.
Yes.
So they're gonna have to look at one player that's gonna go with the squad.
Who's going to be what, a reserve or something?
A reserve.
And that player, whom do you have on your mind?
I think there's gonna be one player that's gonna come out from the squad list, Kungenu Maseko.
Kamogelo Maseko.
Despite the comments we've seen on Facebook.
So Kamogelo Maseko deservedly belong in this squad.
Yeah, Maseko bemela bela go le squad list.
Okay. But Musa Mabe said that Kamogelo Maseko is definitely the unfortunate or the surprise omission in as far as the Spar Proteas national team is concerned. We will be watching that place like I previously mentioned that on Thursday evening the social media almost clashed with all the netball fans calling for Kamogelo Maseko to be slaughtered in the Spar Proteas national team. We will see whether the Spar Proteas coach, that is Noma Plama, will eventually give in to that pressure going forward. So surely it goes without saying that should there be any injuries in as far as the Spar Proteas players are concerned, surely Kamogelo Maseko is likely to be the first player to be considered, considering the outcry that is out there in the netball circles. Still with the Netball World Cup, yes, New Zealand, they are the defending champions. Looking at the way the Spar Proteas have been playing, have been preparing for this World Cup, the way the Spar Proteas players have put the performance in the Telkom Netball League, do you deep down honestly believe that Spar Proteas are ready to take the fight to your Australia, to your defending champions, that is your New Zealand, to your England, to your Jamaican side? Where do you rate Spar Proteas players in as far as winning the World Cup is concerned?
I think Spar Proteas have the momentum and the game pace to win this World Cup. Most especially because it's going to be here on the African soil, and most of the spectators are going to be supporting them. So
do you honestly expect Spar Proteas to at least come back with a podium finish?
Yeah, if they're not number one, they can be number two. That's what I'm sure about.
So for them to be number two, considering that they're in Group C, I believe should they progress, they might have the next stages. The defending champions in New Zealand might just be on their way. So do you really expect Spar Proteas that they might just have what it takes to dump out the defending champions, that is your New Zealand, or even when they progress to the semis, your Australia might just be on their way?
Quite going back to the Quad series that was here in Cape Town.
Yes, early this year.
The performance from the Proteas was very, very impressive, but then they must get a way whereby to stop New Zealand or Australia somewhere somehow for them to win the World Cup.
You mentioned that the Spar Proteas they just have to find a way of stopping New Zealand and Australia. What about England?
England is a side which the Proteas can play with, and perhaps they can win the game against England, because it's not a very very strong side for South Africa.
So Spar Proteas, they might have what it takes to dump out England. So their main concern is the number one ranked team, which is Australia, and the defending champions in New Zealand.
Yeah, they must make a plan to fight New Zealand or Australia.
Oh, that's what Musa Mabe has just called it. The Spar Proteas, they don't have to worry that much with the English team, who are ranked third in the world. Australia, I believe they are ranked first in the world. The defending champions, New Zealand, are lying second. And the Jamaican girls, who are in the same group, the Spar Proteas will be expected to bring their A game, and that game might just set the tone of what we can expect in as far as the Spar Proteas World Cup campaign is concerned. Down in Cape Town, ICC Arena, from the 28th of July till the 6th of August. You be the Spar Proteas coach. You are playing in the final. Can you give me your best or dream starting 7?
Goal shooter, I would go with Inemare Fenta.
Fenter, yeah.
Then goal attack, I would place Elmare van der Berg.
Yeah.
Then wing attack, I would place Bongi Msumi, the captain.
Yeah.
Then center, I would place Refilengate.
Yeah.
Or Refilengate or Chawan.
You go with one.
Or I'd go with Chawan on that center position.
Yeah.
Then wing defense, I would go with Shidin Fademerva.
Yes.
Then goal defense, I would go with Karela Pistorius. Then goalkeeper, I would go with Pumza Maweni.
Yes, I see you're starting 7. There is no Lenis Borgiter.
Lenisburg, starting the first final quarter of the game, you can start with both tall shooters, considering the defenders are very, very tall. So you starting the first game, you would start with the 2 tall shooters, the 2 tall towers. Then moving forward, you can place Borgiter
as goal shooter.
Yeah.
And then whom do you give a goal attack?
Then I'll give goal attack to Talia because the game momentum is very, very clean.
Okay. That's what Musa Mawe has called it. That should Spar Proteas go all the way to the final, that is how he would set his starting 7 for the Spar Proteas. Let's hope the Spar Proteas will definitely do the country proud come end of this month, the 28th of July, down in Cape Town, ICC Arena. That's where the Vitality World Cup will definitely get underway for the first time ever on African soil. Let's hope the Spar Proteas will definitely fly the South African and African flag sky high. Yes, I know you are a South African. Obviously, you'll be hoping that South Africa wins this World Cup. What other which other African teams that you think they've got what it takes to put on the brave fight? Not being biased, just your honest assessment in as far as African netball is concerned, because it's not only South Africa that will be participating in as far as Africa is concerned.
I think Zimbabwe will have a nice game too, and also Malawi.
And then between Malawi and Zimbabwe, which one do you fear most, that you think is the most is the bit dangerous side?
I would fear for Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe? You're not scared of Malawi?
No,
but looking at the rankings, Malawi, I believe they're ranked higher than.
South Africa playing with Malawi, they've played them before. They've won previous matches with Malawi. But Zimbabwe has a very, very very tall goal shooter, which they must work their way around it.
Okay. Now that's what our studio guest Musa Mawe has called it, that should South Africa be given an opportunity, she will prefer to face who's this Malawi over Zimbabwe. He says it is Zimbabwe that he fears over Malawi, because South Africa have played Malawi a number of times. They know exactly how to contain the Malawian flames. That's how we come to an end to our discussion. But before I let you go, can you kindly share your social media handles? How does one get hold of you if one wants to communicate or converse with you netball, Musa?
On Facebook, I'm Musa Sean.
Musa
Sean.
Sean.
SHUNE.
SHUSNE. Okay.
Then my cell phone number is 079
yes
195
yes
4756. 079 195 4756. So I'm available on WhatsApp and Facebook only.
And then again, the contact details of your team. Let's say if one wants to contact your team for a friendly match, for a sponsor, whatever the case is, if one wants to join your team, so how does one get in touch with your netball team?
Okay.
We are still checking. You are still tuning in to Sports Geek with Spanalo Ngobo, only on Nirvana Wild FM. Your beat, your music. We are still chilling with our netball guest. That is Musa Mabe. We are talking netball and more netball. What are the contact details of your team, Musa?
My coach's number is 071 071
Yes.
130
Yes.
9280.
And the name of your coach?
It's Professor Chipea.
Professor Chipea. Those are the contact details of the netball team that Musa is applying his trade with, and he also shared his personal contact details if you wanted to talk netball with him. Let's go for a breather. When we return, we'll be in conversation with our sports analyst, Modiba Pitt, and hear what he has to say in as far as the sporting world is concerned. Time now, it is 13 minutes after 12 o'clock. Very good afternoon and a warm welcome to the second and the final hour of this show.
Tune in now for the best music experience on the net.
I threw a wish in the well. Don't ask me, I'll never tell. I looked at you as it fell, and now you're in my way. I trade my soul for a wish, pennies and dimes for a kiss. I wasn't looking for this, but now you're in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at you, baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number, so call me maybe. You took your time with the call, I took no time with the fall. You gave me nothing at all, but still you're in my way. I beg and borrow and steal at first sight, and it's real. I didn't know I would feel it, but it's in my way. Your stare was holding, ripped jeans, skin was showing. Hot night, wind was blowing. Where you think you're going, baby? Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. It's hard to look right at you, baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, I missed you so bad, I missed you so, so bad. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, and you should know that I missed you so, It's hard to look right at you, baby, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, but here's my number, so call me maybe. And all the other boys try to chase me, but here's my number, so call me maybe. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, I missed you so bad, I missed you so, so bad. Before you came into my life, I missed you so bad, and you should know that, so call me maybe.
Wayibutwa taba injalo lento losomnetso halala.
Excess abana phezulu 051 is under phezulu Scoop on fire era batata banyana bapha kumnandi ukujiva hamba ngo6 engibuya kusasa Tony kumlilo fire sabangena erabathena Tony guy yenu yadesha senza kuphela resenya fela after party private location ekhulukuta sifuni relation ekhulukuta sifuni relation kozi savana kumnandi ngiphethu KZ the life for the party Dawila the life for the party IUT be the life for the party Savannah Pezu 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 Yashizelo manikhele yashisa Yashisa ngoma yashisa 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 ngathi ngageza Yashisa ngiphume Yashisa ngiyophuza Yashisa Savannah Pezu 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 Savannah Pezu
Impilo Kake Munatiness Ala All happiness Munatuntira Mara Kake Nyalela Ngwe Yeshibumnanda Bungaga. You are still tuning in to Sports Geek with Spanner Ngoba only on Nevada Wild FM. Your beat, your music. Halala.
Savannah Pezu 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 Savannah Pezu
Thank you, Mpilo. Thank you, Mnatiness. That was a tonic, the tune featuring Dawila. They gave us Savannah Pezzul. Before that, we got Kaliray Yapsin. She gave us Call Me Maybe Haze, my number. Our time now, it is 20 minutes after 12 o'clock. A very good afternoon and a warm welcome to the second and the final hour of this show. The promise we make is the promise we keep. Before we went for the commercial breather, I did promise you that when we return, we will be in conversation with our studio, with our sports analyst, that is Modiba Peter. He will be joining us telephonically. Let's check if Modiba Peter is on the line with us. Modiba, are you there, Baba?
I'm here. It's good afternoon to you, Sibonelo, the team behind the scenes, as well as the listeners. Thanks for having me for this wonderful first Saturday of the new month of July.
A very good afternoon indeed, Modiba. Thank you very much once again for your time, for talking to us here at Nirvana Wild FM. Your bit, your music. Without any further ado, let's cut down to the chase. Last week, all the roads they led to Bloemfontein, Free State. That's where the 85th edition of the Currie Cup final got underway. The home side, Toyota Cheetahs, they took on the defending champions. Then there is the L-Link Pumas. Talk to us about that Titanic clash, Modiba.
You remember we had a long debate and long argument about. Got you.
You won again. I can't believe this.
I said it loud and clear, and I stuck to the prediction. I said the the Cheetahs will definitely win that one based on how they've won it in the past, and they had an upper hand going into that match. And you look at the Pumas as the defending champions. They didn't do well before that last game of the ground robin there, where they lost 4 matches on the trot. So that's where I felt they will not have a chance of doing well in the final, and it happened as I said. But it was so wonderful to see the likes of Reinhard Fortuin having a better in the fly half there with the likes of Tinus Pierre, and as they scored the most important tries there. We saw the likes of Rowan Kruger as well, Jasper Cohen as well, finding the goals, the tries there. So with Tinus Pierre scoring the penalties as well as the conversions, and only Alec Mikichima scoring there, then that's how it ended. Because if you look at into the game in particular, they dominated the match, the Cheetahs. So that's where they got it, because the Pumas started absorbing the pressure and defending a bit deep, just like they did in the semi-finals. But when they played in the final, it wasn't the case. But all in all, it's well done to the Cheetahs as they retain their 7th title lead there. So they were well deserved.
A well-deserved winner indeed by the home side, Toyota Cheetahs. The fans, they did not disappoint. Surely, Modiba, they came out in numbers. They painted that Toyota Stadium in orange. Organjan.
Most definitely, because I watched that game a bit, and then I saw that they were just packed, and before with the 2 minutes that were remaining for the match to end, they were already celebrating, because, like I said, the game was going to be tight, and as it happened with the 25-17 scoreline, that proved that we were in for a lovely final. But the fans did not disappoint, and they rallied behind the Cheetahs as well. So that's what I saw, and I knew that they'll definitely win this one. And yeah, they were really deserved it, and the fans did not wasted money to go and support and rally behind the Cheetahs.
Cheetahs, the fly half, the veteran, that is the Ruan Pinar, who's been around in as far as the rugby game is concerned. He continued with his sterling form, regardless of his age. He took his side just over the line and brought the glory days back in the Free State yet again, Modiba.
The experience is very key. As we said, he is 39 years of age, so
yes.
He proved it that he's not a leader by example. Imagine scoring goals, tries I should say, and then also helping the team to do well, to dominate the match. I think his presence and leadership paid dividends for the club.
The defending champions, Elink Pumas, yes, they've been blowing hot and cold this season. I don't think they had a smooth season. They didn't have a consistent season. They had a lot of hits and misses, but unfortunately, they definitely ran out of luck this time around, because at some stage, Pumas, they were not at the stage. They were dead and buried. They were on the verge of not making it even to the semis. But surprise, that they managed to crawl all the way to the finals, but the home side, Toyota Cheetahs, they cut their luck. That is the defending champions, the Elink Pumas, Modiba.
I was so surprised, because if you can check at the start of the season, between 5 to 6 matches, they were top of the log.
Yes.
They had a wonderful point difference, I should say. So I wonder what happened for them to drop the ball. Why they kept losing matches like that. Very surprising, because when they were started at number 1, I was certain that they were going to defend this title after the round robin, but it wasn't the case. So going forward, they must just fix few things in the technical team, and also sign a few players and fix the team in particular. Let's see how they'll pan up in the coming season.
Oh yes, it's going to be difficult indeed for the Mpumalanga outfit, the Elink Pumas, to come back, because surely looking at this year's 85th edition Currie Cup, the likes of your Blue Bulls, they definitely had a bad season indeed. But come next season, I for one, I do not expect Blue Bulls to have such a bad season again. So it might just be very tough come next season. The Blue Bulls, surely they will come back aggressively. Yourself, Shark, your Lions, they might just come back and make the things are very difficult for the side from Mpumalanga. That is Elink Pumas, Modiba.
Most definitely. When speaking of the Blue Bulls, there, remember they also had an issue where their coach had to go to hospital, and at the very same time they were not doing well, blowing hot and cold. But when they really defeated the Leinster 65-7, I still remember the scoreline there. They could have turned the corner, but it wasn't the case. And then you look at how they played against Thomas, in that quarterfinals. So yes, the Stormers were really the favorites going into that match, judging from the fact that they are a hoodie team to the Bulls. But it wasn't the case. I thought because this time around they were playing a different rugby match, a cup game, so they'll definitely bounce back. But it wasn't the case. So let's see. I think there are so many things that they need to fix as well. And speaking of the Pumas as well, they must just try to improve. They must work on the consistency going into next season, because for them just to lose matches like that, it was so surprising after having led the lead in the about 5 to 6 matches at the top of the log and with some few gaps there, but it wasn't to be. So there's a lot that they need to fix going into next season. Most importantly, you sign key players, then they'll definitely come into the party, because the likes of Etienne Yard there, Alim Kijima, Genius De Pierre were so key for them. You look at the likes of Simon Rowe, PJ Jacobs as well, Andrew Fauché, they did well, but in that final they cracked. I don't know what happened there, but I did say it even last week that they'll fumble a bit, and that's how it happened the way I anticipated it. But it's all about there's still room for improvement going into next season. They must just work hard and with improve on consistency. That's all.
Oh, congratulations indeed. In the Freestyle Boykies, there is a Toyota Cheetahs. If we, I believe it will be fitting to end this discussion in this fashion, Modiba.
They call me cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Ooh, kachaka, cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alla mama cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alla se li colla sta cheetah hole. They call me cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Ooh, kachaka, cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alla mama cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alla se li colla sta cheetah hole. Hey, ons gaan nie weer beere. Ze vernis, nee, laat hey, op die groen gras glee. Jackie kom met den, en lof de sun. Van die jou blauw balmahal, als waar een blerrie voortspul. Die kom met cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Oeh, kachaka, cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alle mannen cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alle zijn die kolen, zijn cheetah, hol. Cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Ooh, kachaka, cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alle mannen cheetah, cheetah, cheetah. Alle zijn die kolen, zijn cheetah, hol. En die kop raakt mal, zijn cheetah nou.
Here come the cheetah. Ons roller, the millers, surely. That was the order of the day last week, Saturday in Bloemfontein, as die Freestaters hack. Die in Bloemfontein, as they hack and the Freestater. That surely the celebrations went on throughout the night in Bloemfontein. Moving right along, Modiba, to motor racing. Talk to us about the Austrian Grand Prix, Modiba.
It's going to be interesting. We're looking forward to the race. As you know, Max Verstappen will feel confident again. Question is, will he record his 5th victory out of the 10 races there? So very interesting, because he's done well for himself. And it will be 7 in particular, the 7 out of 10 victories he had if he was to win this wonderful weekend. And there's also Sergio Perez, whom I'm still looking to see him improve, because he hasn't done well. And then let's see if Red Bull, as you know, they are currently deadlocked at 100 victories. Can they continue? Because their coach Horner there has said that he is lambasting for all the other race drivers, the Lewis Hamilton, they're not doing well in that particular races. Yes. So currently, so far, it's been the Red Bull dominant. So let's see, because I've been impressed with how Max Verstappen has been doing things. So he's really excited, and let's see if he will be able to break the record of the 2 drivers there who are seated on 51 and 53 victories there. So, but with the looks of things, there's still more to race to play, 14 more races after tonight. So let's see if he'll definitely win, but I predict him as the winner going into this wonderful weekend's race.
Oh yes, Red Bull and Max Verstappen's success, the chest pains, they went straight to the Mercedes team. So as Lewis Hamilton, we had Lewis Hamilton this week coming out guns blazing, criticizing Red Bull for being 2 months ahead of the rest of their competitors. But surprise, surprise, when Lewis Hamilton was still enjoying the fame and the platform back in the days, he never brought such concerns when Mercedes was doing the same. So now, like they always say, if you live in the glass house, never throw stones, Modiba, or Ganjan.
Most definitely, if you can check, he's seated on 103 victories. He's also amongst the top drivers who has done well previously, although he's been in the podium, but between number 3 all the time. So I think he must just push hard as well. I think he's also going to be the driver who can give Max Verstappen a run for his money, because Sergio Perez has dropped so badly. But Lewis Hamilton, for me, is another suspect who can do well this wonderful race. But I still think Max Verstappen has a good upper hand, judging from how he's done this season fantastically well. So yeah, he's just I think he wants to give Max Verstappen competition, judging from how he attacked the weights there. But it looks good up to so far. I can't wait to bring the feedback when I come in to next week.
Oh yes, Max Verstappen is and he's a Red Bull team that definitely showing the other teams, especially Mercedes. They just cannot handle seeing Red Bull dominating them the way that they are dominating them of late. And then diving straight to DSTV Premiership news. But before we do that, let's quickly look at the Austrian Grand Prix today at half past 11. The sprint shootout started, and then at 3:30 this afternoon, still in that Australian Grand Prix, the sprint will get underway at 3:30 this afternoon, and then tomorrow the main race will get underway at 1:30 rather. That's when Max Verstappen, we saw yesterday that Max Verstappen for the fourth time in a row, he finished with that pole finish. So surely it's tomorrow afternoon at 1:30 we are almost certain with another Max Verstappen show. And then changing gears to DSTV Premiership news. My things are coming, news are coming thick and fast in that sphere. Talk to us about what's happening in that part of the world. Who's signing home and who's being shown the door, Modiba?
Team Sabizi Sibonelo.
Hey, go ahead, T.
Hey, go ahead, T. Today marks the official opening of the transfer window. So teams will definitely carry further, because we're just months away to the return of the DSTV Premiership. So I'll just pick teams by teams there and return back there. So I'll start with the Cape Town City there. We saw them signing the TS Galaxy midfielder Fatsonyama there. And then we saw Mamelodi Sundowns signing Isibangu, as well as Tapelo Maseko from SuperSport, while Isibangu is coming from Marumo Gallants. So Swallows again, they are just appointed Ditokomoto, to remember the former Chiefs left back, who was currently at Royal AM with the technical team as the assistant coach to Musanya Dama. We also saw Black Leopards also confirming their stay in the Municipal Foundation, where they brought the teachers to All Stars. So, and then we saw Tapelo Morena renewing his contract for Mamelodi Sundowns for 4 years. And then Orlando Pirates parted ways with Ndumiso Mapena, and then Craig Martin. And speaking of Craig Martin, he just signed a contract with Chipa United, only 2 years. And then also the Pirates again, they've signed Patrick Maswanganye. You remember him from SuperSport United, the midfielder there. So I think it was a swap deal, because if you can look at SuperSport United, they had a defender there from Orlando Pirates. I will put him as a right back, yes, Peskin Dove there, whom he was on loan at SuperSport United, and currently after the swap deal has been done, he's officially a SuperSport United player, so he won't be going back to Orlando Pirates. And Patrick Masanganye then has been signed with the likes of Katlago Otladisa there. And then we saw Amazulu appointing Siboniso Vilakazi, the coach who once coached the Diski Challenge there, to go and assist the new coach there. And then we also saw Kaizer Chiefs again announcing the signing of Molifin Tseki, something we never saw. And
surprise.
Forward, following those rumors of Nasrin Nabi going to coach the club. So yes, it's surprise indeed. I do agree with you there on there. And then they just announced Kaizer Chiefs that they parted ways with Cole Alexandra, as well as Patrick Zonang. Patrick Zonang just announced as SuperSport United midfielder there. So it looks interesting. And Orlando Pirates also yesterday they announced that they've parted ways with midfielder Collins Mahaka. And then we also saw Leboga Manyama, remember formerly with SuperSport, Kaizer Chiefs and Cape Town City, that he's retiring from football. This is a player who did extremely well for himself. I remember he had played 302 games, scored 55 goals, and had 99 assists. And then with some of the accolades that he got, we saw him winning the Footballer of the Year in 2016 and 2017 season, and also Player of the Year there. So, and also winning the Telkom Knockout, as well as the being at the top goal scorer of the PSL while it was still Absa Premiership. So we wish him well in his future endeavors. But yeah, it's really happening. And if you can remember, Fadlu Davies there.
Yes,
just been announced.
Maritzburg coach.
Yeah, the former Maritzburg coach is just joined Raja Casablanca, whom is reuniting with his coach there. Remember, Joseph Zenbawa, who was coaching Orlando Pirates. So they will be coaching together in that club. So yeah, teams are busy in the market. Even when we come in next week, we'll definitely announce more. So yeah, it's happening in the DSTV Premiership.
Ndumiso Mapena parting ways with the Orlando Pirates. Just going back to that signing. What signing was that all about? Because if I recall, I'm not sure if he played any game last season, Ndumiso Mapena. What was that signing? Was from where you seated? Can you talk to us about that signing? Was it a good signing? Was it? Did it make sense from the inception, considering his age, considering that he played for Orlando Pirates? What was that signing all about from the word go, Modibo?
Very questionable, because if you can check, he only played 15 minutes. You remember that game where they played Mamelodi Sundowns when the PSL was resuming after the World Cup, where at Loftus Stadium in a rainy match there. So they only played for 15 minutes, but other than that, he never played. And you remember, this is a player who was coming from issues from Royal AM, whereby the owner did not want to pay him, I should say. So that's where things didn't heat up. And you know, even age is taking its toll. He's currently 36 years. So I don't know if he will be signed going forward. He is a current free agent. Just know he is a quality player, set piece taker there. So I think he was just unlucky for me, but there was no need for him. For Pirates could have signed him. So I don't know what for. It's very questionable.
And then moving to their across the town rival, that is the Orlando Kaizer Chiefs, rather, their technical team. Can you unpack that for us? What can we read from that, can I say, appointment or promotion, whatever you call it, of their new head coach, Moli Finzegi?
Very, very interesting, because we never saw this one coming. Remember, we were expecting Nazarene Nabi, who was coaching young Africans there
in Tanzania.
In Africa, Tanzania, yes. As you know, he's from Tunisia originally there. So I think the deal did not go according to plan. Remember, when he was about to be announced, so he did say that he wants to come with his own technical team, that is the assistant coach as well as the goalkeeper coach. So I think when the negotiations were going further, the Mutawungs were requesting him to work alongside Afazwani. So that's where I think it ended in sour there. Hence, but they didn't disclose the story of the fact that he's no longer coming to Naturena. When we were anticipating the unveiling of a coach, we thought he was going to be the man to lead the Kaizer Chiefs as Nazarene Derby. But come the evening, when the breaking news came out, boom, Moli Finzegi is the head coach. Whereas, remember, he was a technical advisor, always on the stands. So let's see, because he has never coached any DSTV Premiership side in his journey, in his coaching journey. He was always within the international Bafana under 23. But although at some point he worked with Afazwan together. So let's see, because there's been rumors whereby fans are saying, no, he's trying to cover Afazwan, shield Afazwan, because they were not happy with the Afazwan's results, the way he set up things in the previous season. So, but let's see going forward. But it's going to be tested. So, question is, as we know, there's also an issue of Rangachi Vaviro, which just signed with the club. But there are news that speculating that Jomo Biela, the owner of Richards Bay, insisting that Rangachi Vaviro has signed a 2 years pre-contract with the club. So I think it's going to be interesting. Let's see how the argument of fighting will go, as it has happened before. Remember the story of Spelem Mtembu
Pirates drama,
at the same time Pirates drama, yes, as well. There are so many issues there. So Papizo Twan as well is the other issue that comes to my mind, where he was signed by Kaizer Chiefs, but at the same time signed a pre-contract with Mamelodi Sundowns. So will it be the same case with Rangachi Vaviro? Let's wait and see. But with Moli Finzeki, I think he must just have structure. He must just make sure that he's maintaining consistency within the team, unlike what Afazwani did. So if he was to do that, definitely and a good friendship with the Kaizer Chiefs fans. As you know, they were not happy, and judging from how Kaizer Chiefs finished the season poorly, losing 5 matches on the trot, not their style. So yeah, we are anticipating a lot going into next season.
Still with the Kaizer Chiefs, talk to us about Pashusetse Nang and Cole Alexander's, what should I say, departure or signing, depending from which angle you look at it. Were they much of the bad signings go Kaizer Chiefs, or was the question of personalities that the coaches did not give them time, or were they given time and they did not grab their opportunities? Just talk to us about those two players, about their stay go Kaizer Chiefs, and then eventually their departure.
I'll start with Cole Alexander. Remember when he came to Kaizer Chiefs, he came alongside Stuart Baxter. As you know, Stuart Baxter was coaching abroad at a team called Odisha. So that's where Cole Alexander was also playing in that team. So when Stuart Baxter came to Naturena, he came alongside Cole Alexander. Although he did play some few matches, but this downfall were injuries. Injuries, I think, also disrupted him. I think also I can put also age into the picture as well. So I think that's where there was a bit of disruption. Although he's a good penalty taker, he's a good packer of a shot. I've seen him at Wits in one of the games when they beat Pirates 4-3, where he scored a long range. So, but it was just unlucky for me. So, but I think he didn't offer anything with Kaizer Chiefs. So that's where I was a bit questioning that. So he could have at least made his presence felt by replacing Jabulo Blom well, because remember Kaizer Chiefs lost in Jabulo Blom, and he was doing well for the club. He went abroad. So Patricia Zonange, I think with Patricia Zonange, it might be the fact that I think maybe he wasn't in Athazwani's plans, because this is a player, when he came in with Stuart Baxter, he played a bit regularly there. So I remember in one of the goals where the Chiefs threw Sundowns 1-0 season before last, where he scored a crucial goal there. So, but he was just playing regularly. Although I was a bit confused with his positioning, whether he's a defensive midfielder or attacking midfielder, because in terms of him, he's a bit slow. So, but he was shooting well in Stuart Baxter's plans. But when Athazwan took over, that's where things did not go according to plan. So he was just on the bench, on the stands. So with Gavin Hunt having been announced as Super Sport United midfielder currently, so therefore together with Gavin Hunt at Bidvest Bet, so he's definitely going to play under Gavin Hunt. So at Kaizer Chiefs, I think it has to do with Athazwane. There were so many issues that even a rumor that he doesn't like Limpopo players. I'm not so sure if it's true, because I look into Eric Mator as well. Bruce Bomado didn't play so much. Kahole Sokota as well. He wasn't playing so much as well. So a lot of things that they were taking place in that team. So at some point they did say that the dressing room, I think, is too big for him. That is Athazwane. So, but with Patricia Nangwe, it was just unlucky for me. I think they could have been given him enough game time, just at least to compete for that position that was left by Njabulo Blom, because as soon as Njabulo Blom left Kaizer Chiefs, they started struggling in that position. Hence, you saw Kaizer Chiefs conceding so many goals and soft goals at some point.
Now we're changing gears from DSTV Premiership new transfer news, moving straight to up north. Our neighbors Zimbabwe are hosting the Cricket World Cup qualifiers. Talk to us about those Cricket World Cup qualifiers that are currently underway in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe are really doing well. Zimbabwe are really in rampant. Zimbabwe have slapped everyone. You look at the likes of Netherlands, Nepal, West Indies, as well as USA. So there's two players who have impressed me there. The Sean Williams, as well as Sikandar Raza. For me, extremely marvelous. When you speak of Zimbabwe in this current cricket, you're speaking of these two players. Last week also, they won so well, beating West Indies there by 35 runs. So you look at also how they won even against some of the teams there, even on Thursday, because currently they are playing for Super 6. So if they are to win in the Super 6, because both groups have got 2-3 teams each, so one team in that group must play 3 games against the team in the other groups. So Zimbabwe already they've won their first match there on Thursday. So for them, I think they've got a huge chance, because they've already been allocated points as they started the Super 6 with 4 points. So I think if they are to do well in the 2 coming games, they'll definitely go further as far as the World Cup is concerned. So question is, will they go against the West Indies? Will they go against Sri Lanka? But currently Sri Lanka have got 4 points as well. They are level on points with Zimbabwe. So let's see if they'll definitely do well. But I've been impressed with Zimbabwe. You look at how they defeated Oman there by 332 runs per 7 wickets, with Oman 318 winning by 14 runs. So even this afternoon, the matches are progressing. Just that I'm not so sure about the outcome of Sri Lanka up against Netherlands that took place yesterday. And then today we see Scotland.
Sri Lanka won that game. Yeah, Sri Lanka won that game convincingly.
But yeah, they're proving to the fact that having started on 4 points, they mean business. So up to so far, them and Zimbabwe, they've got a huge advantage going into the World Cup that is taking place in India. So you look at Netherlands and also Scotland, are currently seated on 2 points. So Scotland, I think they'll take this game very, very serious because West Indies, they're struggling and they're currently seated on 0 points, and they can't afford to lose points, West Indies. So these are some of the games that one must look into very seriously and very key, so as to who will definitely win and collect more points going into the World Cup qualifications. But it's looking good up to so far. I'm impressed with Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe doing pretty well indeed. Surely it is the pressure that comes with being the host. Still with that Cricket World Cup qualifiers, just talk to us. How many teams will they qualify from the World Cup in as far as these qualifiers are concerned? So how many slots are still available? We know that there are already 8 teams they've qualified automatically. So how many slots are available for the teams to grab in as far as this year's Cricket World Cup that's going to be held in India later this year in October, Modiba?
Most definitely. So currently there's 2 slots for 2 teams that is left. So the current teams that are playing in the Super 6, they are really under pressure. They can't afford to drop up the ball. They can't afford to drop points. But as things stand, Sri Lanka and Zimbabwe had a huge advantage of going through. So, but I foresee them going through as Zimbabwe. They're really making the Harare fans and the Bulawayo fans feel their presence. They're really stamping their authority at their home ground. So it looks good up to so far. For me, for now, I'll give it to Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka. Let's see when I come back next week, because there'll be so many matches played and it's ending on the last day, which is on the 9th. Let's see how they'll pen up at Harare there. So, but it looks interesting. So hopefully maybe Zimbabwe might play Sri Lanka. Who knows? Let's wait and see when we come back next week.
Sure, my word. That's going to be bad news indeed if it's the only 2 slots available. So should Zimbabwe qualify and Sri Lanka, what a Cricket World Cup without West Indies. So that will mean West Indies will fall out, will miss out on that flight to India.
Most definitely, they're really having a poor run. They haven't won a single match, so
No.
they really need to do well in this Super 6 for them to end the slot. So, but I think the advantage for Zimbabwe and Sri Lanka is that they're seated on 4 points and they're currently on 0 points. So they are under pressure as the West Indies. They can't afford to drop the ball. They can't afford to drop even a single point. So they must just win. It's a must-win situation. They are in a now or never situation when looking in terms of qualifying for the World Cup.
Oh, absolutely. Now, changing gears, closing our discussion with looking at Telkom and Netball League. I do have a guest here in the studio in the form and shape of Musa Mabe. We have had a discussion. We have looked at Telkom and Netball League finals that are taking place this afternoon in the capital city, that is in Hartfeld Arena. Modiba, looking at the Telkom and Netball League final that's going to be taking place this afternoon, tell us, who is your money on? What can we expect this afternoon? And I will come back to you and tell you what did my guest say and what can we expect in as far as this afternoon's final is concerned, Modiba.
Remember when we had a chat last week, you asked me the very same question, and I said Fireballs. Fireballs will definitely do well, but they really disappointed me as they lost crucially there, and they ended up playing for the 3rd and 4th place against the Southern Stings, where they lost by 54-38, and they had to play with 3rd and 4th place. That's where at least they managed to redeem themselves there. So let's see going forward how the other teams will do, because currently I think the Division 2 matches are the ones taking place. So the Baobabs for me stand a huge chance.
Oh,
so I
yes.
think they can win this one.
Oh, your home girls, by the way.
Yes, my Limpopo team's there, so let's see if they'll definitely come to the picture. But yeah, it looks interesting, and as you know, the Crinums have done so well for themselves that they really deserve credit. So,
Yes,
but
yes.
it was so sad to see. Is it Bongim Somi, our very captain of the Proteas, her team not doing well as far as defending the title?
Fireballs, yes.
But at least they managed to win by a bronze medal, although against the very same Southern Stings, winning by 57-51 there. So it looks good. But from the other side, I think Baobabs, my home team, deserve the credit. They really do stand a chance to clinch this one. So I'll go with Baobabs up to so far.
And then in the final, Crinums versus Jaguars this afternoon. I believe the center pass for that game is at 6 o'clock this evening. Who is your money on?
I do not accept people sitting on the fence. So sitting on the fence is not an option.
I'll give it to the Crinums because they finished well, top of the log in the first division. So you look at the Jaguars, they finished third. So for me, they've done well. They especially after beating the Fireballs, I think that was the turning point. So they are showing that they can beat everyone, although they only lost one game up to so far this season. So they really stand a huge chance. I'll give it to the Crinums.
You're giving it to the Crinums, and my studio guest here in the form and shape of Musa Mabe. Can you revisit your call, Musa? What did you call it?
I said Gauteng Jaguars will win the league.
Musa Mabe calls it for Gauteng Jaguars. Modiba Peter calls it for the.
I think his prediction is based on the fact that they are underdogs, so they can string a surprise. But I think the Crinums are too strong. So let's wait and see.
Let's wait and see indeed. Come 6 o'clock, the center passer for that game will definitely get underway. But by the way, Modib, I have to come in here and try mediate between you two guys. Yes, my guest calls it for Jaguars, but he did concede that deep down he does have a soft spot for the Jaguars. So it might just not be the impartial him. He might just calling with his heart. Organjan Mus.
Yeah.
So deep down you want Jaguars to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is. So he has considered that, yes, he will have to be impartial, but deep down, he knows that he does have a soft spot for the franchise from Pitori. Come 6 o'clock, all will be revealed this afternoon when those two giants eventually lock horns. Thank you very much, Modibo, once again for your time. We really appreciate it here on Nirvana World FM.
Much appreciated, and there are a lot of actions taking place. The finals, we'll talk about them moving 110 next week, and there's also motor racing. Let's see if Max Verstappen will get his 42nd victory of his career. So yeah, with that, it's a very good afternoon to you and Mr. Sayimbe, and yeah, let's talk more next week.
Talking of next week, surely there is also another big game that will be taking place in the capital city. There is the Springboks. They will get their rugby championship 2023 underway when they take on their traditional foes, that is the Australia, the Wallabies. Surely that game it's going to be a cracker indeed, because we are told that the tickets were sold out about 3 or 4 weeks back. Modiba, what is your parting shot in as far as that game is concerned?
It's going to be a packed Loftus Stadium by the looks of things. So I think they should do well, because when I look at the squad there, I realize that the players from the Stormers, the Bulls, as well as the Sharks, they're being called. And these are the teams that did well in the, especially in the Currie Cup, although they didn't reach the finals, are the Sharks there. So they were just surprised by the Pumas there. So you look at also the Stormers, they did well despite losing in the final against the Munster away from home, Munster winning away from home. So let's see. Because I think they've gained too much experience. The players are still fit. So these are the games that are very, very important. Let's do well and rally behind the South African flag. So with that, it's a very, very good luck to the Bok. Yeah.
Very good luck indeed for the Bokke when they get their Rugby Championship 2023 season underway. Come next week in Pretoria. Loftus Versfeld is the venue as they take on against the Wallabies, Australia. Thank you very much once again, Modiba, for your time.
Much appreciated. I be Khotso, and it's a very good afternoon.
I come mentate. There was a Modiba Peter, our sports analyst, dishing the sport without any fear and or favor. Unfortunately, Musa, it is the time of the show where I have to say our goodbyes. Can you just sign off? And then if you do not mind, you can also share your contact details once again. Where does one get a hold of you, especially the social media handles?
Thank you for Nirvana radio station for hosting me today. Talking more about netball and the experience I have through netball. My cell phone number, if you want to get in touch with me, is 079 195 4756. 079 195 4756. Thank you and good afternoon.
A very good afternoon indeed. Unfortunately, it is that time of the show. We have to love and leave you, but as always, I always leave you in the warm and capable hands of my colleague, that is Krishna Kushal, as she brings you Hamtum between 1 and 3 o'clock. From me, Spanel Ngobo, it is a goodbye. Till then, bye-bye.